Today I'm going to show you how I made and sold an incredibly simple woodworking project that comes together so quickly it's perfect for getting multiple custom orders done in one day. Let's get started. Last Monday I found myself searching through all of my woodworking magazines looking for a project I could do to make a quick buck. There's a trend all over YouTube right now, and if you're watching this video, I'm sure you've seen it. Woodworking videos that claim big profits for little to no effort. Now, we all know that doesn't really exist. But after racking my brain and searching around for a while, I think I found a project that was totally worth making. Typically, I would head out behind my shop in search of materials I could work with, but I started this build only 3 days before we went away on vacation. So I ran over to Home Depot and bought enough material to make 2 instead of slowing myself down by using some reclaimed wood. But in the end, I was surprised how fast these came together. In fact, they came together so fast that reclaimed wood behind my shop came in handy. You'll see. The only materials I ended up actually having to buy for this were 4 8-foot long 2x4s. The rest of the materials I actually did have on hand, and it's actually just 2 more boards. There's a good chance that if you hoard wood like I do, you probably already have all of these materials. So I've said it before and I will say it again. If you have a simple project you're looking to make that you think is going to sell easily, make 2 of them at least. It will always save you on time to batch things out rather than make one thing at a time. And at the end of this video, I have one simple way that I'm going to make all of these customizable. Customizable? Is that a word? Customable? Customizable, I think that's the word. At the end of this video, I'll show you exactly how I do that. So at this point, I am cutting all of my 2x4s to length. I cut 2 2x4s to 40 inches. I cut 2 more 2x4s to 24 inches. And then I cut 1 to 30 inches. Now the other 2 boards that I had laying around and I was able to use for this project were a pressure treated 2x10, which will be the base for this and help prevent it from rotting, and a 1x10. I cut the 1x10 to 24 inches long, and I cut my pressure treated piece to 30 inches long. And that's all of the materials you need to build one of these. With all my pieces cut, I could bring this over to my picnic table and start assembling it. Now, like I said, I made 2 of these, but I'm only showing you the process for one. And also, I want to be clear that the size really isn't that important. These are just the dimensions that I used. And I actually made the second one a little bit smaller because I was running out of wood. I started by screwing my 24-inch piece of 1x10 in between my 2 40-inch long 2x4s. Once that was attached, I could take my 24-inch long 2x4 and screw it to the bottom like so. And the 30-inch one will go right across the top, as you can see. Then I could just screw my pressure-treated base to the bottom of this. Now, I was able to get 2 of these cut and assembled within an hour. So this project moves really fast once you get going. And because of that, it was still pretty early in the day, so I decided I would go to the wood rack behind my shop and try to gather up some materials that I could make a third one out of. In the end, this third one actually ended up being my favorite. It took quite a bit longer, which is something you kind of have to work out. Are you trying to make fast money, or are you trying to make something that you can be proud of? A lot of times when I'm trying to just make some fast money, I'm throwing together some quick and easy projects that don't really leave me feeling satisfied. But in the end, there's a lesson to this, and things did not go as I was expecting. So I started by cutting half-lap joints for the legs because I don't want this thing to fall apart and tip over, and I'm making it out of random 4x4s and 6x6s. To cut my half-lap joints, I could just set the depth on my miter saw, as you can see right there. You just flip this little thing down, and then you can use that wing nut right there to raise or lower the depth of your cut. You're going to want a nice square spacer between your fence and the piece that you're cutting, or you'll end up with a curved back to the half lap, because the miter saw can only slide so far back. If that doesn't make sense to you, just go outside and try it. You'll see what I mean. I cleaned the majority of the wood out with a hammer and a chisel, and then I could just go through and make sure it was nice and clean with the saw. After that, I cut some of this other reclaimed material, as you can see right here, and started screwing it onto the base of this. I gave everything a rough sand, but I wasn't trying to get too crazy because I really like the look of this one. It's got a real rustic farmhouse vibe going on. And then I took a scrap piece of wood, drilled a bunch of little holes in it, and I could stick it into the bottom, as you can see right there. To attach this top, I just pre-drilled some holes, and then I could use some long lag bolts and screw it right together like so. Oh, and that plug right there, that's just a tree branch right off of a tree in my backyard. Just thought it fit the look. Alright, so if I was watching this video, I think I'd still be wondering what the hell I'm looking at. And while I seal them with some outdoor sealer, I will explain to you what they are. The first two are welcome sign hanging plant stands. And the third one is going to be a flower pot with a sign above it. Now, speaking of the signs, this is where my new xTool F2 really comes in handy. It's one of those tools that can instantly take a project to the next level when it comes to customization. For these signs, I'm starting with a basic welcome design, but the cool part is I can offer custom names and sayings for an additional fee. Being able to personalize something like this just makes the product feel more high-end and honestly gives it a much better chance of making the sale. I also picked up this cool sliding extension for this, which lets me work on larger pieces while still keeping the machine portable. And the portability that the F2 gives you could be huge for something like a craft fair. Being able to bring this setup with me and do custom laser work right there on the spot opens up a ton of possibilities. And if you're not into designing everything from scratch, the Atom library offers templates that can make it super easy to get started with ideas and layouts. You can go from a simple idea to a finished custom design without fighting complicated software. So instead of just selling basic signs, I can offer customization on every single one, which really helps separate these from everything else out there. If you want to check out the xTool F2, I'll have a link down below in the description and the pinned top comment. Now let's get back to the build and see if we can get these things sold. Now if you don't have a laser or aren't interested in getting one, you can definitely still get this done with just a simple set of stencils from your local craft store. So I ended up posting all three of these on Facebook Marketplace, and surprisingly, the one I almost didn't even make, the reclaimed one, sold in about 20 minutes for $300. The other two sat for a couple days, so I lowered the prices, took some better photos, and ended up selling another one for 130 bucks. Turns out those AI photos that I thought were really funny were probably making people think this whole listing was fake. I've still got one sitting here in the barn, and I'm hoping it'll eventually sell, but if not, I'll just keep it for myself. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really appreciate all of your support lately, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around, and hit that like and subscribe if you aren't already. It means so much to me. Love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye, see you again, and have a good dream.